lift the transmission assembly onto the disassembly fixture with an overhead crane and fix it on the frame with locking bolts. Remove the oil drain plug and drain the transmission oil. Remove the oil pan locking bolts and dismantle the oil pan. Remove the 6 locking bolts. And take out the filter element assembly. Remove the flange, locking bolts, and elastic washer in turn. Remove the flange from the filter element assembly. Remove the sealing gaskets at both sides of the flange. Remove the magnetic retainer. Remove the magnetic ring. Remove the brake caliper locking bolts and take out the flat washer and elastic washer. Dismantle the brake caliper. Remove the locking bolts of the brake disc according to the disassembly sequence. And take out the flat washer and elastic washer. Remove the flange locking nuts on the front output shaft. Remove the brake disc. Take out the washer, O-ring, and gasket in turn. Remove the locking bolts on the retaining plate of brake caliper. Remove the brake caliper retaining plate. Remove the locking bolts on the retaining plate of the oil filling pipe. Remove the retaining plate of the oil filling pipe. Remove the oil filling pipe and take out the O-ring. Dismantle the oil temperature sensor. Remove the locking bolts for the pump. Remove the pump. Pump assembly. Remove the sealing gasket. Dismantle the bearing sleeve with the lifting ring. Remove the connecting bolts between the torque converter and the transmission. Disconnect the torque converter and the transmission and lift the torque converter onto the disassembly fixture with an overhead crane. Remove the transmission cover seal at the connecting surface between the torque converter and the transmission. Remove the thrust bearing 51111. Remove the output gear units of the input first stage turbine. Remove the spacing adjusting washer of the first stage output gear. Remove the input second stage gear units. Take out the oil seal of the input second stage gear units. Take out the rotary seal for the stator seat. Take out the shaft gear units. Take out the 6210N bearing. Take out the retainer ring on the 6211 bearing. Take out the drive shaft units of the steering pump. Remove the 6210N bearing. Remove the drive gear of the steering pump. 2 eye bolts in the overrunning clutch assembly and take it out of the housing. Take out the retainer ring 90 for holes. Take out the adjusting spacer sleeve. Remove the locking bolts of variable speed control valve. Remove the variable speed control valve. Remove the gasket. Turn over the transmission assembly. Remove the locking bolts on the transmission cover. Remove the cover from the transmission with 2 locking bolts. Remove the paper washer. Remove the O-ring between the cover and the housing. Remove the oil seal. Lift the 3rd shaft assembly out of the housing with the overhead crane. Be aware not to pump against the housing mounting surface. Remove the locking bolts on the 3rd shaft assembly. Remove the 6 dual-hole check washer. Take out the pressure plate of the direct gear. Remove the direct gear shaft assembly. Take out the direct gear shaft assembly. Remove the gear ring of the 2nd gear. Take out the direct gear friction discs in turn. Do not bump against the contact surface between the bearing and assembly groove. Take out the retainer ring 65 for shaft. Take out the disc spring. Dismantle the piston assembly from the cylinder with air gun. Remove the direct gear piston. Remove the inner and outer sealing rings from the piston. Dismantle the output shaft gear of the 3rd shaft. Remove the 6411 bearing. Remove any 2 symmetry bolts on the middle cover. Replace them with 2 locking bolts and tighten the bolts. Remove the rest 6 bolts. And then remove the locking bolts. Take out the middle cover. Take out the 1st gear cylinder body assembly. Take out the O-ring. take out the first gear piston assembly. Take out the inner and outer sealing rings. Take out the 15 springs and spring pins. Take out one first gear driving disc and one first gear driven disc. Take out the first gear ring. Take out the rest 3 driving discs and 4 driven discs in turn. Take out the first gear planetary carrier assembly. Remove the 4 bolts on the connecting disc. And take out the connecting disc. Take out the sun gear assembly. Take out the 6210N bearing. Dismantle the retainer ring from the 6210 bearing. Take out the inner gear ring of the reverse gear. Take out the retaining disc. Remove the planetary gear shaft from the planetary carrier. Take out the planetary gear assembly and the washer in turn. Take out the roller pin and space sleeve. And check the number of the roller pins. Take out the first gear cylinder retaining plate. Take out the retaining pin of the isolation frame. Take out the isolation frame. Take out the 4 driving discs and 5 driven discs of the reverse gear. Take out the reverse gear planetary carrier assembly. Remove the bolts and take out the locking plate. Take out the 4 planetary shafts in turn. Take out the roller pins and the spacer sleeve, and check the number of the roller pins. Take out the ball bearing 6010 from the reverse gear planetary carrier. Take out the reverse gear piston assembly with the lifting ring. Take out the inner and outer sealing rings. Remove the hex nylon nut and take out the front flange, washer, O-ring and shim in turn. Remove the rear framework oil seal seat assembly. Remove the 2 seal rings in turn. Insert in 4 thin pins and tap them within iron bar. Remove the inner framework oil seal. Take out the retainer ring 130 for holes. Take out the spacer sleeve and bearing gasket. Turn over the disassembly frame. Remove the hex nylon nut. Take out the rear flange, washer, O-ring and gasket in turn. Take out the framework oil seal. Take out the retainer ring 130 for holes. Turn over the disassembly fixture. Hit the front end of the output shaft with a tool and remove the output shaft. Take out the inner ring and output gear of the bearing NUP6312E. Remove the breather. Remove the retaining pin and nut. And remove the oil baffle plate. Remove the retaining bolts on the elastic plate. Remove the base plate. Remove the elastic plate and the adjusting shim. Remove the turbine and pump wheel locking bolts, elastic washer, flat washer and nuts in turn. Remove the turbine assembly with lifting ring. Remove the retainer ring 85 for shaft. Remove the stator. Turn over the disassembly fixture. And remove the locking bolts on the stator seat. Turn over the disassembly fixture. And remove the stator seat. Take out the pump wheel assembly. Turn over the disassembly fixture. Remove the bolts. And take out the valve cover. Take out the valve core of the lubrication pressure valve. Remove the bolts. And the valve cover. Take out the inlet valve core of the torque converter. Turn over the disassembly frame. Take out the retaining bolts.